Hi everyone. This is a demo of CloudTranslate, one of our SaaS products, which is basically which provides advanced neural machine translation service as a SaaS. So you can actually provide a translation service for your customers and get paid for that. All the translation, automatic translation of the text, of the files, is done by Amazon Translate. So that's the API that runs behind this script, behind CloudTranslate. And you can learn more about AWS Amazon Translate service on their official website, which is basically uh, they provide a neural machine translation service with highest quality. You also get up to 2 million free characters per month during your free tier. So if you don't exceed this limit, you basically don't pay for Amazon Translate service at all. So this script supports 8 or 9 different payment gateways. You can charge for um, the per characters as the prepaid plan, or you can create a monthly subscription plan. That will be all up to you. Now, without further ado, let's log in. So as I said, it's a demo. There are default credentials already included in the login page. So you will see the demo credentials of the admin, of the user, and you can just try it out them instead of creating your own user. The links for the demo are in the description. The link for the source code is also in the description. You can get entire source code in Codecanyon. And then documentation are also available in the Codecanyon under the description of this product. So it's an online documentation which very comprehensive and explains you how to install. So you can install this script on any hosting, whether it's a shared hosting, private hosting, or local host, doesn't really matter. All it requires is a PHP with a correct version. I will refer to documentation for more details and MySQL database. That's all it's needed. So upon logging in, you will first see, if you log in as an admin, you'll first see an admin dashboard. So after you're logged in, you'll see all the details that are relevant for the admin in terms of how many new users are there, the total number of users, how many of them are subscribers, the total income, both from the prepaid and then monthly subscription plans, also the estimated spending of the so that if you exceed these 2 million characters at the Amazon Translate service, you basically will be charged per million character. You can refer to the pricing under pricing tab. So you can go there and then dive deep into the details. They also have some nice examples for you in terms of how their pricing actually works. So you'll get the idea. Also in the admin panel, you can see the graphs in terms of the tendency of user registration per month, per day. Um, that's basically standard information. Now, what the user actually see when they log in, let's go to user panel. So these are the main important tabs. Now, as I said, user will see um, actually two translation panels here. One is direct text translation, same as, for example, Google Translate. You can pick your language. Now, the difference between Amazon Translate and Google Translate, there is a definitely significant difference. So you can definitely try it out both. It happens that for example, for the languages I speak, Amazon Translate translates in a meaningful way, whereas Google Translate just translates in a direct way. So there is no optimization on the Google end, but you will see the difference when you try Amazon Translate. So definitely check it out. And it supports a lot of languages. To be frank, I forgot the exact number, but nevertheless, they keep adding new languages all the time. Um, uh, and whenever there will be new language supported, we will add it as well. You can control to how many languages you can translate immediately. Let's, for example, just for the, I think it was, yeah, it is set for 2. Again, you can control this. And then if I just go ahead and translate, it will translate into 2 languages um, at the same time. The As you can see, I get translation in Arabic and then in Chinese. If you had more languages so, enabled, added, they'll translate down below. All the translations are automatically stored for you for future reference so that you don't need to run them again because each of those translation will actually consume credits, the characters that will accumulate to the whatever the amount you'll consume by the end of the month. And if it exceeds 2 million, there will be a charge. If it's below, no problem at all. Same goes for the files. You can upload. It supports, if I remember correctly, 5, 6 different file extension format extensions. So you can translate files in TXT format, HTML, Word, PowerPoint, Excel sheets, and XLF formats. There is a file size limitation, but we will get to there. You can set them in the settings part, but it depends. It varies for actually it depends on the excuse me, not the file size, but the character length within that file. So I'll explain that in a second. Same as in the text translation, with file translation, you need to select the source language of the file that you want to translate. Select target language, and you can also select multiple languages here. It can be again controlled in the settings page here, translate configuration page. I will get there. You can also group them with various project names if you want. You can create a new one with this to make sure that later you can find in your projects tab the actual translation. Now all the file translation and text translate results are stored within the respective tabs here. The current day translation, as you saw in the text translation, will be shown immediately in the tab in the table next to it. All the processing for text translation is instantaneous, but for file translation, there is a cron job that runs behind the scene that you can also configure in your hosting, and we do provide documentation for that. So it's a matter of, to be honest, couple seconds to set up a cron task. That will pull and check, first of all, check if the translation is complete for your document, and then it will pull the results, and then you'll see it in your table here, so you don't need to go to your AWS account. Now, if you'll see here on the text results data, you will see all the previous translations that were created by the user. So the demo is publicly available, so you can see people are testing it with various files, whatever it could be. Um, yeah, I think I clicked on the text translate result, but if you click on the file translate result, you'll see all the files that were actually translated or processed. So as you can see, there are a lot of files that have been translated. You can download the input file, you can see the results, and so forth. And all of them are completed successfully. Um, so if the user wants to subscribe to any kind of plans, under my balance, they can see all the plans available. So you have monthly plans, which they can sign up and then get whatever the characters per month. And there's also a prepaid plan that they can buy if they want to top up their credits for character credits so that they can translate more text within a given month. You can also check all the, my current subscription or past subscriptions. Seems like I don't have one. And the payments, what kind of payments did I purchase? So it was all of them were prepaid. And then the balance dashboard. In your profile settings, so we're currently checking the user panel, and here all the information is, even though I am admin, I will see as myself as an individual user rather than the entire page. For the entire page, we will get there. You'll see how many characters I translated recently, and basically for every month, how many files were translated, or using the text translation, how many characters I consumed, and so forth, and my current balance, and then some information. I can also edit this information. I can also request support from the admin if I face any kind of issues with payment or with whatever it could be. I just can create a request, a support request, and admin immediately will be notified and basically will start resolving your issues. On the notification part, that's the way that admin communicates with the users, so they can do like various marketing promotions, any kind of notifications, whatever you prefer. So let's get to the admin panel, back to admin panel. So the first thing is, apart from the admin dashboard, we also have translate management dashboard, which is a translate dashboard itself. That's where you see entire consumption of the platform by the users. I mean the character consumption. Now that's also split by months, but in this case you will see all users, not just the admin. How many paid characters were used, how many of them are free. You can give free characters to users when they actually join, sign up to the platform as a welcome credits, and I'll show you in a second how to set it up. And it also basically total number of credits, characters that were used by the Amazon Translate service. As you can see, it's been running for, the demo was running, I don't know, almost 9 months, and total consumption is around 100,000. So it's still, with the cost is actually zero. But again, this is just a demo, don't forget. And also split in terms of how many paid characters were used and how many free ones were there. So if I remove the free ones, here are the paid ones, and vice versa. So again, admin can see all the files that were translated. So you can see there by admin, by user, or whoever is the person, they translated various files. So let's get to the configuration part. So this is one of the important pages in terms of configuring the entire Amazon Translate service. Now, first thing you need to include is your API keys, Amazon API keys from your IAM service. And we do provide instructions in the documentation, so you can definitely take the instructions from there. It has a step-by-step guide in terms of how to create an IAM user, how to generate API keys, and what kind of policies to attach. So in a nutshell, you need to attach two policies. One is for Amazon Translate. The second is for S3 bucket. You also need to generate IAM role. That's also explained in the documentation. Again, step-by-step explanation is provided for your convenience. You can set the default source language in case if you want, if you're constantly, I mean, if your language is different than English, I suggest you definitely take whatever language you prefer here. It's going to be the default language for all the new registered people. Now, individual users can change their different default language under their profile settings. If they go to the profile and click edit, they can change their default language for them specifically. Now this one is for all new users, and afterwards they can change as well. So these are the maximum, it's basically entire list of supported file extensions. You cannot add more, but you can definitely remove some of them. Let's say if you don't want to provide the last two, you can just delete them, I mean remove them and click save. That's the hard-coded file formats from Amazon Translate. In the future, they're planning to add more, but as soon as they'll be added, I'll include them as well. You can set the maximum file size. Again, there is a limitation in terms of the file size, which is 20 megabyte. Again, that's hard limit set by AWS. And the format here, the size here is included in megabytes. You can set individual file maximum file permission for standard users, which are non-subscribers. And you also can set up a different file size for subscribers and for admins. Now, in terms of the text length, so as I said earlier, it's up to 1 million characters within the text. So your file size can be maximum up to 20 megabyte, and the maximum characters within that files cannot exceed 1 million characters. That's the limitation. In case if you have more files larger than that, I suggest you to break it into smaller parts and translate it like that. Again, the same concept applies. You can set the default length for user groups and for subscribers as well. You can also configure in terms of the live translate mode, and it has a hard limit of 500 characters, 500 bytes actually, excuse me. And basically 1 byte is 8-bit, which stands for one character, but that's mainly in Latin alphabet. If you consider other some of the alphabets like the Asian ones, um, then in that case the one character can be 2 bytes or more. So in this case, you need to be a bit careful because 5,000 bytes does not imply necessarily 5,000 characters. It will always depend on the language itself, on the characters of that particular language. Again, you can set it for separately for users and for subscribers. And here, where you can set maximum target language, same for users and subscribers. That basically means how many languages they can translate instantaneously. So, for example, if they want to translate a Word document, you can set it to 5 different languages, 10 different languages. One task will provide a 10 result in 10 different languages for the user. And here where you set default characters for new joiners, new subscribers. So here in the user management, you can see all the information in terms of the where your users are currently from, how many are online, etc. Then you can see the entire user list, basically people who subscribe to your platform or register to your platform, and you can see their status as well, whether they're users or subscribers and so forth. Now on the financial management part, that's where you see your income in terms of the estimated spending, the actual income, how many characters were purchased, etc. You can see all the payments done by your users, whether they were prepaid or subscribed. That's where you see them in one nice place. And you can also create subscription plans. So the creating subscription plan is super easy. I'll just go ahead and show you one. But you will need to, so as I said, it supports 9 different gateways, but for subscription, you can use 4 different gateways. Stripe payment gateway, Stripe, Razorpay, Paystack, and PayPal. For each of them, you'll need to provide plan IDs. And for Stripe, it's called product ID. That's basically what you need to get from your respective accounts, whether it's PayPal or it's subscriptions. So the actual processing happens on the payment gateways, and hence you'll need to generate plan IDs there and then include them here. You can set the characters as you prefer, some general information in terms of pricing, plan name, payment frequency is 30 days at the moment. We will in the future update include support for 1 year, so stay tuned for the update. And then you can set the default, the general information in terms of the what's the plan is about, heading, and then list out the features you prefer. Same goes for the prepaid plan, but in prepaid plan you don't need to include payment gateway plan IDs at all. You can also use promo codes, which are valid only for prepaid plans. You can have referral systems so that you can configure for the buyers to earn. If they refer someone who will subscribe, you can set to give some percentage, which you can control in the referral system. Actually click on it. Yeah, you can basically control the commission rate for the user, and then you can set minimum threshold that whatever the threshold, basically the payment need to exceed. On the payment settings, that's where you set all your API client ID secret or the basically client secret keys from your respective preferred payment gateway vendor. Now, support requests is where the admin sees all the incoming support requests. On the notification part, basically all the new registered users, which if they did register, you'll get a notification here. And if they made a payment, you'll see it here as well. You can switch the language. Again, changing the language or adding new languages is super easy. We provide the instructions in the documentation. It's a matter of translating one JSON file. That's pretty much it. The rest of the settings are straightforward in terms of you can configure the name of the website, the URL, the logos. You can enable or disable some pages on the front end. It's again up to you. The block manager is in terms of the create. If you want to create a block, you can do it from one place on the admin side. Same goes for the frequently asked questions. You can also configure logging in through social media. So accounts currently supports 4 different social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, um, LinkedIn, and there was one more I forgot. But let me click on it. Oh yeah, it was Google. Sorry about that. In the registration settings, you can completely disable new user registration. So it's just a matter of one click and that's it. You can enable email verification so that only people with the only legit emails can be or verified emails can be registered on this platform. Before enabling email verification, make sure that you actually set up SMTP settings correctly so that the email will be sent to the user. There's a test feature on the SMTP settings, so after setting up your SMTP credentials, make sure you click the test button so that you can actually send a demo email to verify that everything works. You can set up invoice settings, details of your company that people will see on their invoice that they'll get upon purchase of the service. You can create a database backup, activation, auto upgrade feature. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, leave us a comment. We'll definitely get back to you. And also you can reach out to us in Codecanyon for any kind of questions that you might have. The links for the demo, this link for the source code, and the link for all our other SaaS platforms, we will post them in the description part. Definitely visit. And if you liked the video, definitely subscribe and click like button. We will be releasing more. Currently, we are finishing up our demo tutorials in terms of the products. The next series will be diving deep into these services by itself. So we will do a full-scale explanation of each Amazon service. As you can see, they have a lot of products here, and so we'll be diving deep on each one of them so we get the idea in terms of what the service is about. So that will be one stop for all the information about AWS and other cloud vendors as well. So we basically focus on pretty much all hyperscale cloud vendors. Well, thanks for your time. Have a great day.